It's a fantasy book. I gave it a 4. I don't care what everybody else thinks about it. You try being an author. You try being an author. Hey everybody, this is Felicia, and I just wanted to go over some of the books that I read for 2023. I by no means reached my goal. I was supposed to read 50 books in 2023, but I did not do that. There were some challenges that I had for pretty much a large part of 2023. So hopefully in 2024, I'll be able to at least hit my reading goal or get close to it, at least closer than this year. As you can see there's a nice little pile there. These are not including the ones that I read in Audible. But I will be using my reading journal to analyze them and actually give a better review of how I felt about the books that I'm going to be reading for 2024. But like I said, this year it didn't happen, but I'm more than happy to share my thoughts with you so that we can, make a better choice next year. Hey everybody, this is Felicia and welcome back to my channel. I am here today because I wanted to go over kind of like some of the the books that I read for 2023. Unfortunately, I don't know what I was doing and what I was thinking. I did not write them in my planner or my bullet journal on what I was reading. So I had to go through and make a list. And I made a list of everything that I was reading here in my bullet journal here, softcover little bullet journal here. And I made a list of everything, and I even went as far as rating everything that I have listed, that I've read. So I rated them all. I still have some to be reads, but we're just going to go through and see really quickly and kind of go over what I've read this year. I was trying my best not to, include too many audibles, but I did, and my audibles are also included in what I read this year. So I've only read a total of 15 books this year. Actually, I should start over. I started in July. I didn't read anything hardly at the beginning of the year. I started some things, but then I just didn't finish it. So for I say about mid-June-ish, kind of all of July, all of August, all of September, all of October, and all of November are the books that I have read. So I read about 15 books here, and I got them all listed down. Now, okay, all right, there we go. Oh, look at that. Now I can see the screen too. Anyway, so we're going to start because I have a lot to cover, and I'll give you my reasons why of these. So the first book we're going to talk about that I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I do have a copy of that, but I didn't bring it up here. It's downstairs. The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was just absolutely adorable. I loved it. The ending surprised me. I was just really floored with how it was written and how each husband had a role to play in Evelyn's life. I'm not doing like a book review or anything. I'm just kind of give you a quick synopsis of what I think about the book. So with that said, the way the author wrote the book, the way the material was nicely put together, and the way each husband had something to offer Evelyn in her life, and how it ended, I'm going to give this book a 5. I really enjoyed it because I liked the way it was written. I loved how everything was done. So that was that. And then the next book that I read was God is a Black Woman. I gave this one 5 stars as well because it had me really, really, truly thinking about certain things in my life and certain things in my life from the past. So I decided I would definitely give that book a 5 because the author did a good job of putting the things together, and the author themselves are pretty much, I would say we kind of went through the same things as we were growing up, as children growing up. So I really liked how that was put together. All right, so Fourth Wing. Okay, so now we're going to get into some of the books that are fantasy, of course. And of course, you see I got this nice little stack here. This is what I've read physically. There is a couple of them missing. They're downstairs. I really don't want to feel like going down there. So we're going to put those over there, and I am going to pick up this book, Fourth Wing. Fourth Wing. All right, Fourth Wing. I'm going to be honest with you with Fourth Wing. I gave it 4 stars. There are a lot of people who do not like this book. There are a lot of people who complain about this book. There are a lot of people who talk about how the author wrote this book. There are a lot of people who...
Someone was detected at your front door.
Sorry. There are a lot of people that complain on how she is repetitive in her book. There's a lot of people that complain about this book. Guys, it's a fantasy book. It's not real life. It's a fantasy book, okay? I gave it a 4. I don't care what everybody else thinks about it. I gave it a 4. It's a fantasy book, for the love of Pete. So speaking of that, for my to be read is the second one, which I pre-ordered it right after I finished this one. And it's Iron Flame. So I'm just getting into this one. I do have it tabbed, and oh my god, I got the jacket on upside down. Oh my gosh, you can tell I've been reading it because I just started it. So let's see, I tabbed some of the things in here that I thought were relevant for me to kind of go over and look at. And I didn't write directly in here. I have these see-through sticky note. Anyway, so I'm on chapter 3. I just started it. I decided I'd go ahead and do this. These are my tabs that I have. I decided to get the tabs to match the jacket of the book. So I just got to chapter 3. You guys, it's a fantasy book. I mean, really, honestly. I mean, I personally think that people are being a little hardcore and a little harsh. I really do. And for those people who are being unfair and hardcore and harsh on their decisions and why they decided to basically recommend or kind of kick down this book, you know, you try being an author. I love them. I think they're great. I already got in this one. I already think this one is great. I mean, come on. It's a fantasy book, people. So, like I said, I gave Iron Fourth Wing a 4. Another book that I read was called The Paper Wife. This one was stationed in the 1920s during the time when they had a lot of the Chinese immigrants coming from China and on the boats and being stationed horribly at Angel Island. It's a historical fiction, but it was a really good story. It was absolutely wonderful, and I did enjoy it, so I gave that a 5. That was an absolute wonderful book. I just feel that The Paper Wife deserved a lot more than what is actually given to it, so that's that. All right, so then the next one, Court of Thorns and Roses. Okie dokie. So, and this one, you know, everybody knows about Sarah J. Maas, and this is the physical copy that I have here. I listened to them on Audible, but I also got the physical copies because, truly, to be honest with you, I'm going to probably end up going back because there's some stuff in these books that I don't quite understand. I gave it a 4. Only reason why I gave it a 4, I think Fourth Wing is better than this, but it is what it is. And so I gave this one a 4. And then I went on to read A Court of Mist and Fury. I also gave this one a 4. There was a lot in here that was just dragging on and on and on. And I was like, oh my God. Like I said, I think Fourth Wing was better than that. So, you know, and a lot of people, I don't believe the hype all over YouTube about certain books. I want to read them for myself because I know what I'm looking for in a book. And so that's one of the reasons why, you know, I gave Fourth Wing that rating. And I keep reverting back to it because a lot of people slammed it. And I don't really think that's fair. I really don't. My to be read is pretty much finishing up this guy here, A Court of Wings and Ruin. So I am definitely going to be finishing up this one. And then my also to be finishing up here is the Sarah J. Maas Throne of Glass, because I read The Assassin's Blade already. Okie dokie. Sorry,
my camera battery died, and I didn't have an extra battery to pretty much to put in there right at this point, because I wanted to get this done and then get to show you what we're talking about. But anyway, I forgot where I was at. Oh, and if any of you are wondering where I got this from, I would definitely tell you where, but it took so long for this piece of thing to get here. It's an absolute great tool to have, but it took too long, and I wouldn't even worry about ordering this. If you really, really want it and you want to fight with those people because they still haven't sent me my second one, then you go right ahead. It's called Achiever's Must, but I wouldn't even waste my time. I have been having problems with getting this second one, and I ordered this September the 9th, and I didn't get this until October, almost near Halloween. Actually, it was after Halloween. It was the first week of November. September 9th, and they promised 4 to 6 days shipping, but I actually didn't get it until the beginning of November, and I ordered this on September the 9th. I wouldn't even waste my time ordering from them because they really weren't a good company, and I don't care if they don't like my video either. Anyway, so I got this pile still here in front of me, so we're still going to go ahead. I read The Silent Patient. Creepy, good, surprising. That's all I have to say. So The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. Okie dokie. Anyway, so The Silent Patient. I tabbed this, of course, too. This was actually, it was creepy. It was good, but at the same time, I was a little scary with that. I just was. I gave The Silent Patient a 4. I gave it a 4. So it was good. And then The Assassin's Blade is another Sarah's books that I am reading. I read that. It's done. I tabbed the crap out of it. It was good. I didn't like the girl's arrogance in here. There were some things in here I didn't like how it was written, kind of, sort of, I guess, but it is what it is. And it's in line with The Throne of Glass. The Throne of Glass is my second one, so we don't have that one. But what I did love was Divine Rivals. I tabbed the crap out of this. Oops. I like this book. I also ordered the second one, which unfortunately doesn't come out until December the 26th, which is coming up. That's coming up quickly, but I did love this one. I like the characters in it. The girl was kind of, dingleberry at first, but, it just has this, and I love the letters. The letters part where the letters were magical into the typewriter. Oh, that was just awesome. I loved that. That was the coolest thing ever. The creepiest thing were the gods at war. So if you're into that kind of stuff, this is good. This is a straight 5 for me. This is called The Bells, and this book is about beauty, and it's about beauty and not being satisfied with what you already have. And it's like these magical things called the bells. And they're not born, they're actually grown, and they are in charge of making people super beautiful all the time. From skin pigmentation to all kinds of shapes and stuff, and the colors of their hair and the this and the that. And the crazy part about this book was it was painful for these people to have it done, but yet they did it anyway. And they would have this tea called the Akana tea. Oh my gosh, it was just insane. But this was actually pretty good. And there is a second one that I'm going to be reading. I think it's a 3-book series. Yes, it is. It's a 3-book series that I'm going to be reading the next one. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, this was very, very good. It was very captivating. It kept my focus a lot. So I like that. And I gave that one a 5. Legends and Lattes. Absolute 5. I love this book. It's about this orc who used to be an assassin orc who has her money together, and she gets this coffee shop together because this little town has never heard of coffee, never heard of anything of a sort. And so she gets it going and everything. And at first it's kind of slow, and then people realize, oh, this is good and everything's good, and then of course, you have your nemesis in there also, trying to destroy everything that you build up. And so this is a really nice comfort book. If you really sit down and read something during the winter when it's nice and cold outside or rainy, this is a great book to pick up. And I also got the second one from the same author called Bookshops and Bone Dust. That's on my to be read list as well. So yeah, this is a straight 5. I loved it. Okie dokie. So we've done everything and we've got pretty much what I've read. I'm looking at this pile that I have here. I have like three different piles going on here. We're going to get to this one book. How does it feel? I had to do a moment of silence for this book. If I could rate a book more than 5, this would definitely earn it. It got me. I could not put this down. I read this book in 2.5 days, almost 3 days it took me. Yeah, because I couldn't put it down. I could not put this book down. I am going to save it for you guys. All I know is that this author, she deserves my utmost respect. This was a hell of a good book, and I'm going to say that. Good grief. Good grief. This was very good, so you'll love it. I loved it. All right, so that is what I've read as far as the physical copies that I have. I've also read, The House of Eve. It's a good book. I give that a 4.5. I really didn't like the triggers that it had, but the author overall actually captured life as being an African American back in the 50s, 60s era, in that era. And yeah, they really did capture that. And I'm glad she did a really good job of it. It just had it had some triggers. So if you guys are, want to read something like that, just giving you a heads up, there is a few triggers in there. Especially when it has to do with the girls living in the home for girls who get themselves in trouble according to their standards. So I gave that one a 5. I think I only have one book on here that got a 3, and it's called The Lady and the Orc. It was your typical patriarchal type of book, the men are right, the men are right, the men are right. It was more so the orcs are right, the orcs are right, the orcs are right. The male orcs are right. What made it disgusting was the amount of sex that was in there. It was just too much. It was every time you turn around, you couldn't go. I swear, if I'm not mistaken, it almost in every chapter. From the time she gets captured to every chapter. I thought it was going to be more of a story building type of book, or fantasy story type of book, but it really wasn't. It was a lot of sexual content, a lot of adult sexual content. So if you're into that heavy kind of adult sexual content, then yeah, you would like this book. But whoa, man, that book was full of sex, you guys. It was full of sex, trust me, on this part. So I think that's the lowest book that I actually, yeah. All right. So I think I have gone over everything that I have read, and my to be reads are Lessons in Chemistry. Of course, I got this right here and you can see that I've already started it. So Lessons in Chemistry. My other to be read is Bone Dust and Bookshelves, which is what I showed you right here. To be read is the, 2-book series to the Bells. I forgot what the title was, but I'll probably put it up here. But it's a 2-book series to the title of the Bells. The Secret Life of Church Ladies is another book that I want to read. That's in my Audible, ready to be listened to. The Beautiful Ones, Gallant, is another to be read. The Yellow Wife is another one of my to be reads. The Davenports is another one of my to be reads. Ordinary Monsters is another my to be reads. I had the physical copy of that downstairs. Queen Charlotte, I ordered that. That is another one of my to be reads. Awkward Black Girl by Issa Rae, the actress. If you've ever watched the show Insecure, she's a very, very, very good writer. Oh my gosh. And then we Can't Spell Treason Without T. Ruthless Vows is another one of my to be read that I want to read there. The Best That We Could Do. This is a graphic novel, which I love this kind of stuff. I started this one, but then I decided I'm going to redo this. I'm on chapter 3 on this one, The Second Mrs. Astor. This is like a historical fiction of the Titanic. And then, of course, once I finish let's see what I got here. Once I finish the Assassin's Blade, no, I'm sorry, The Throne of Glass, my next one is going to be this one, Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. Also, too, my other to-be-reads are the Crescent City series. And then this one is in my book club, which I haven't started it just yet because I just got it. It's called The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. And this is supposed to be a really good book. It's going to be turned into a motion picture, which I'm excited. So I'm going to get through the book really quick. This is what my book club is reading. I already got what I did do is I did pick out my tabs for the book. As you can see, my tabs kind of match the book. Kind of close. So that's what I'm going to be reading. So those are my to-be-reads. You guys I did promise you to have a close-up look of I got a lot of stuff here, of my reading journal. This is my new reading journal for 2024 from Archer and Olive. I love this smooth, like veganish, leatherish kind of feel to it. It's pretty cool though, because it's really sturdy. I just love this stuff. So this is how I decorated the first page. Just got my name on it. I used some of the older papers that I have, some of the vintage papers that I made myself, and some stickers and some other vintage papers. 2024. This is what is called the reading journal. Kind of decorate this page and make it look all super nice and everything and all that good stuff. And this is a stamp. These are stamps, by the way. These are stamps. So. And then this is the next page here. I don't know why that happened to do that. That was me that did that. There's nothing wrong with the book. It was me. But here is my next page here. This is my index. This is going to keep track of the books, each line. So you got a line here, line here, line here. So in other words, each line. I just decided to do this design to make it look kind of cool. So I'm going to be keeping track of my index. I decorated that. And then this is the reading tracker itself. It does go up to 100, but I don't know. We'll see. We will see. And then we have the next page here, which is my book bracket. And so I put all the books that I think goes into the book bracket. And then I select them down and, as I go and read and put them. And this is how I determine what's going to be my #1 book for the year of 2024. Okay. Now, all of these designs and this idea did not come from me. This came from the Plant-Based Bride. So if you're interested in how she put it together, she does do this whole tutorial on how she puts her entire reading journal together. And then the next one is my series tracker, which is what I needed. Because I lose track sometimes of the series. These are all stamps. This is another bookshelf that I stamp that I have. All these are stamps, washi tape, vintage papers and things like that. And then my reading goals, which is this one here. This is how I'm going to keep track of my reading goals. I want to read certain books that I'm going to definitely put down here that I want to get done through the year. So we'll see how that works out for 2024. And then that's pretty much it. Right here is going to go my bingo. And then I forgot what I was going to put right here. But anyway, so but that's it. That's my reading journal for 2024. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great and wonderful rest of your day. And take care, everybody. Bye.